Oh, this meeting's being recorded. Thank you so much. That must be Ritz. Ritz, are you on here? I just have to say hi.
Yep, morning. Morning, Carl.
Magandang umaga, my friend.
Magandang umaga.
Yes, I have missed Ritz. Back before I went and started doing this company thing and teaching collegiate athletes, I was what they call the productivity coach here. Ritz and I had a chance to work every single day together. And you guys have watched Iron Man? You know, Jarvis? Yeah, that's Jarvis right there. You can just say it out loud. We should probably just change his name to Jarvis. And he does everything amazing for us. So today we're going to be discussing a little bit about your real estate expert, doing lead generation, then lead follow-up, and you have a transaction. This is what it's all designed around, right? And our focus primarily is going to be talking a lot about lead generation. But I also want to dive a little bit into the sister categories, snag a couple pieces from the other instructors. And I think it's going to be, I hate that I can't push that button. I can't do that. So in the lead generation category, I'm primarily focused right here on generating your leads. We have grow your database, capture leads with open houses, social media, and then capturing more leads. These are all classes that you guys are going to be able to participate in and kind of dive more into. And it's amazing. So, hit that. There we go. This is what I want to get into. My fear of failure was greater than my fear of lead generating. You guys ready for a ride? When we talk about lead generating, when we talk about doing real estate, is anybody afraid? Honest question. Why? Who wants to go on the spot first? Everybody is going to go on the spot. So it's okay if you want to hesitate and try to go last. But if you want to go first and get it over with, you can. I got to move this over here. And get...
It's also a fear of like failure.
Yes. That was amazing. I'm just gonna, we're gonna number them. Somebody else, let's hear it. What are we afraid of?
Right now, I'm like, I don't know.
What's the interest rates today?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
love that.
What do I do if this happens?
This is how we do the class. We just take your fear. We're just going to pour gasoline on it. What would I call that? The unknown. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, thank you so much for saying this. Oh, I don't know how to. I'm going to just say hate it. Is that okay?
Yes.
I'm going to put this over here somewhere because I don't know how to silence things. So just leave it off. All right. What else? Have I heard anything from you? Let's hear it.
Kind of scary having to generate your own leads, I guess. But
Yeah.
Not, that's kind of what
Yeah. I'm gonna write it because it's a strong word. Who else?
On that note, I feel like it's easier to sell something for somebody else than it is to sell yourself.
Ooh.
That makes sense. Like if you work for a company, you're trying to sell a product, you're like, hey, I'm doing a job here, right? Like my job trying to sell this thing. But when you're selling things, and primarily you're dealing with people that in the beginning that you know from some other thing, whether that be you grew up together, you met them at a previous workplace or whatever it is. And so you're approaching people you know, selling yourself. I think that's
Yeah. What are we going to do about these? I'm asking you. Do you know why? I'm not an expert on you. I'm not. And I wish that today I could say that we are going to dive into this class and I'm going to take every single one of these fears and I'm going to change it. But I can't. I can't because all of this all rolls inside here. And we just met each other. I don't know, Stacey, are you ready for me to invade your personal life? Start having daily therapy sessions here where we're diving into things? You talk about your fears, I'm going to have to talk about mine. Don't know if we're really ready for that. There it is. So when we start talking about what is it that we're afraid of, when we start talking about what is it that we're going to accomplish, if I were to take all of these real estate agents that I've trained and I separate them into two groups, they both have fear. Isn't that crazy? Both of them are worried they're going to fail. I have an awesome opportunity to rub shoulders with some of the greatest athletes in the nation. I have a great opportunity to converse with them. Even better than that, who's ever been pulled over before? Did you shake? Honestly, did you look down, you're like, why are my hands shaking while I'm getting my driver's license? I do not have a brick of cocaine in my car. Why am I terrified right now? Why are we afraid when we get pulled over by a police officer? It's an unknown. It's an experience. You're caught off guard. And even more so, most of the time, knock on wood, it's real. You're being pulled over because you did something wrong. You're worried about a repercussion. What is going to happen from this? And even better, if you guys want to experience something that's a trip, arrest a kid. Because for them, they explode. And when you finally sit down and just say, Bryce, what are you freaking out about? I don't want to go to jail. Dude, you hit your mom. That's not jail, man. Like, you're going to go down there. They're going to take some fingerprints. They're going to hand you a piece of paper. You're going to go play video games tonight in a facility with a bunch of other teenagers that are all lost. And by tomorrow morning, you're going to be back in your bed. I have logic. I've seen it 100 times. And they're like, oh, but I'm still terrified. I'm going to go to jail. So apply this all to real estate. These are life experiences, right? This is talking about real. The unknown, even more so, hard. Scared of it. And our last one, it's scary. So I'm a very logical thinker. Anybody else with me? Cool. I'm also extremely emotional. You're going to enjoy that. It's a nice combination. Makes for really good fights with my wife. We have a really good time. We just rotate back and forth. Who's going to be logical? Who's going to be emotional this round? And one of my favorite fights that I ever got in my wife was, we've been working a lot and on our communication and understanding life, because I'm being vulnerable to tell you, I fought with my wife, not because I have a bad marriage. It's one of the greatest I think that exists. It has to be. We go through a lot of different stuff, but we work on it every day. We practice every day. We spend thousands of dollars on meeting with people that are a lot smarter than us. They give us skills and teach us what we can do. And one day we're fighting over something, and I look at her and I'm a little heated. I'm freaking feeling it. I'm like, I feel like what you said, you just tried to hurt me. And then I tried to go and she goes, don't, communication, don't put words in my mouth. She goes, that's not at all what I was meaning. I said, oh yeah? Well, why don't you explain what you think I feel? Or how you feel, or what you think I'm saying? Fine. She starts to describe exactly how she thought I felt. I feel like you're really frustrated with the situation and you think it's my fault. And I feel like you're kind of like getting a little angry about this, and I'm not really, and she starts going into it. And I just go, that is exactly how I feel. And we started to laugh. We couldn't help it. We started to laugh. And I go, whoa, It took 1 second for me to step out of that emotion, to look back at it and go, ah, there it is. So write down right now, what is the emotion that you feel when you look at this list and you think in your head? I want you to write your emotion that you're feeling. What is it you're thinking? What is it that you've already talked about them, but what is your actual biggest fear? Write it, put it down. Your biggest fear. We're not talking spiders in ocean here. I always hate how fast these classes go. Where'd 30 minutes go? Okay. Object lesson. Who wants to be in it? Let's do this. Come on up, Cameron. I want you to stand over by Eric, if you would. Right behind you. Eric Smart's right behind you. Okay. You see this line right here? Is it? And before we do this, I got to ask you a question. You know this question. He's been at Keller Williams. He knows the question that's about to come.
I don't
Why are you doing real estate?
Well, did we have a mic for participants?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Is it off?
We can hear you, just for the participants or.
Oh,
if-
for him.
Yeah, we can.
I don't think I have one of those, Ritz.
All right, I'll ask Hunter. Thanks.
I asked, he said, I don't know what you're going to ask. So what are you saying? Why?
Why am I doing real estate?
Why are you doing real estate?
Better life, man.
Interesting. What does that mean?
Potential to provide them with life and also be a part of their life.
What's a good life?
Life is
Yeah, you. No right or wrong answer. This is you right here.
like the goal.
Yep, I want to go.
$300,000. Well, I want to be able to plan around what's important to my family.
I like that. I love that. Can I ask you a terrible question here? Which one is it?
That's fine.
Which one is it? The 300,000? Or is it the family first? It's the family, okay. But let me explain how we're gonna do this activity together. I'm gonna give you ready? $1,000 of your $300,000. All you gotta do is, you see this line right here? This amazing line? Let's call it 2x4. It's a really long 2x4, right? Put some joints in the middle. Would you walk across this 2x4 right here on the ground? I'll give you $1,000.
You know, fine.
Yeah, would you? I'm just asking, would you?
For $1,000?
Yeah,
Like, are we over a cliff?
nope, right here on the ground, man.
Oh, for it.
Perfect. I love that you asked that because you know where this is going. Let's go to some skyscrapers together. Let's stand up there. Ready? I'm on the other one. You're on the other one. $1,000.
Not
Why not?
because $1,000 is not worth dying.
Is there anybody that wants to do this for $1,000? Let's just get this out of the way. Eric, hurting for cash?
Well, yeah, you worked so.
Filthy liar. $1,000 is not worth the risk, huh? I'm Natalie. Hey, if you don't attempt to cross this 2x4 that's on this, I'm inevitably going to pass away. Nothing you can do to stop it. Did you go for it? Why?
Now, we're-
My dear friends, that right there, what he's talking about. That's what you call a why. When you think about your why, for him, it's his family, his wife, you will do anything, including running across a 2x4 that's probably put together like Carl, like just some screws holding the joints together because you care about it. So if you don't already have one of those, that's what you need to figure out next. Because we can go into everything and talk about every skill that you're going to need to do lead generation. But if you do not have that why that pertains to what you are doing in this career, it's not going to happen. Does that make sense? Because let's be honest, hard market or easy market? You guys know, you've been watching the news. Is hard impossible? Nope. The opposite. Hard gives people an opportunity to grow and learn and do the best. That's what it's for. And when you have a why, that's what Keller Williams really sucked me into in my life. When you have a why that's stronger than any other fear, any other emotion, any other thing that you have, you are going to accomplish your goals. It's that simple. But it's got to be stronger. And we can get rid of some of these nasty little myths out there, right? I think lead generation is really difficult. I'm going to teach you in the next 30 minutes actual tactics that it's not. I don't have time to lead generate. I'm also going to get rid of that one real fast. I don't know what to say. We're going to get rid of that one too, okay? And I'm afraid of making mistakes. Sorry, you will. It is what it is. Let's move on, okay? We'll talk about that too. Okay. This right here, just for reference, this is what we call our database. And there's another slide right after this that's going to discuss that. So a database, guys, this is you. Picture yourself right in the center here, okay? When you're looking at your center, these little circles around you are the different levels of your personal communication, your personal relationships. This is what produces the most business for you. Which one do you think it is? This guy all the way out here? Or this one right here? Oh. Yeah, I got to hear something. Closer, 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 closer. Why? Because they trust you, they know about you, they think about you, they care about you. They want your success. It's funny, I built a business across the nation based on that personal inner circle. I understand something about them. But what we're going to learn as real estate agents, if you want to go to the next level, if you want to hit the 300, right? Cameron knows you've got to go to the next outer layer. So let's go in. This is freaking fun. Utah average transaction is about 10 grand. Not there. We got some stuff in there. Oh, Bryce is like, yes, we are writing this one down. Here it is. Dive in, guys. On your phone, how many contacts you got? Think about it. Look at it. Ponder it. These are full-on numbers from National. This is what it takes. 250 contacts. You can predict that 8% of those contacts have an opportunity to close on a real estate transaction. And then 10% of them will actually send you a referral. Those are your warriors. Those are the ones that are like, I am going to do absolutely everything I can to make sure that Stacy gets business. You got 10% of those. Okay. That means between the two of them, 250 contacts, you have a potential 45 closings. Cameron, is a little bit of your BS meter going off on this right now? Speak honestly.
Depends on your contact. I feel like half my contacts are other agents.
Yeah. You don't have other agents refer you? I'm just saying, that's how good I am. Just kidding, guys. But when you look at your contacts, we can change a couple things. Let me give you some options, okay? These are tactics. A, you can try to improve. Can somebody give me an example of what something they would do to try to improve this number right here? We all can think it. There is no dumb answer. Ready, go. Oh, that's that one. Right now, closing. Next. Oh, keep coming.
Let them know.
I like that. Good. One more. I got it. Show them that you're an expert. Okay. Teach them. Potential referrals in your database. I can answer this one for you. I don't want to play the guessing game on this guy. How do you think in your head, could you increase referrals from somebody? It's actually really simple. You just have to do a really good job. Yeah, you saw that one coming, didn't you, Becca? Doing a really good job. So my business started like this. I walked up to a lady at a church I was going to, and I said, "Hey, I hear you're moving." She's like, "Yeah." "Do you have your actual license?"
I passed the test, but I haven't started.
Twins. I walked up to this lady and I went, "I just passed my real estate exam. About to be a realtor. But I'm not one yet, so I legally cannot tell you that I am going to buy or sell your home for you, but are you going to move?" They're like, "Yeah." I said, "So I want to sell your house for you." They're like, "Cool. What do you want to do?" And you know what she asked me? "How much do you charge?" And I went, "Uh-oh. Did real estate school teach you how much you charge?" "No. I didn't know that 6% was a thing." I go, gonna have to get back to you. I honestly don't know that answer." Okay, lesson one right there. Honest, open, communicating. I sold that house. When we listed that house, I was planting flowers with them in the front yard when we were getting ready for photos. Why did I plant flowers for them, Bryce?
To grow your connection.
Yeah,
relationship.
they sent me 2 other deals. Is that crazy? I literally had no idea what to say, Becca. I didn't even know how much to charge. So is it possible? You don't have to be a rocket scientist. I hate to say it. Did drop out of college. Hate to say that. But in reality, all you really need is to be able to communicate and get out there. And then you have to do a really good job. That's it. From there, it started to expand. All I started to do was just kind of tell everybody. And I sold 12 houses my first year. It's pretty freaking, yeah, right? Thank you. Good job, Carl. Good job. Yes. I moved to another brokerage because I wanted to learn property management. And when I went to that property management company, why did I go do that? I'll tell you. I wanted to learn everything that real estate touches. All that I want to do is just learn it. I just want to understand it. And it's only because of that first moment I had with her where she said, "How much do you charge?" And I said, "I don't know." I didn't know what to say. And even more so what you talked about. I do have a little bit of a fear that people reach out and ask. But I have mastered over my career that my clients know. One more personal story. This last week, I had a chance to meet with a gentleman that owns a few companies in this area. And by own, it's not the face, he's the money. Oh, one of them, I mean, you might have heard of it. It's a little company called Bucked Up. You guys heard of that guy? So I get to this guy's office. We're sitting there together. We're having a conversation. I do not know him at all. Did not know how many millions this guy had. We were introduced through a friend in the nation that paired us together and said, "You both live in Utah. You guys should meet and talk. You guys should have an experience together." And as we're talking, he's telling us about the other business he has. It's a company called Tax Hive. It does this. Anyways, it's an awesome thing. And a shoe company called Cooperative, and all these different little things. And as he's talking, he says ERC. And I just stopped and I said, "Excuse me, sir. Sorry. What's ERC?" And he just looks at me like, "What?" I said, "You're going to learn real fast. that even though I'm sitting in here talking about you because someone introduced me as the guy that has 122 universities working with me, if I hear something I don't know, I apologize. I have to ask because I got to learn it. Oh, it's a tax credit that you actually get through the government, through the COVID thing, and it's for business. Oh, okay, cool. Continue on. And he stops, looks at me, and he goes, that's really cool, man. I like to do the same thing. But sometimes we stop ourselves. Why? Because we are afraid that we're going to look dumb. So if you hear something ever in your life as you progress, just say it. It's not that hard. Say, I don't know what that is. I have a question. What does that mean? Or, hey, client, PS, guess what? Kind of new. Kind of new. One of my clients reached out a couple of years out and he said, you think you could help me buy a commercial building? And I went, probably shouldn't say yes to this. That's what I said. He goes, so I love you, man. He said, if you're patient with me, I will call a guy in our office. I'll co-work it with him. And you can bet your bottom dollar that I will do all the work. But just know that he's going to be involved in all the communication because I've got to lean on an expert. I got to ask him questions and I got to know what I'm doing. But you know what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to work my literal butt off every day for you. So as you're moving along real estate, ingrain that into your soul. And this whole lead generation, this stuff, it's going to go away, Becca. You're going to be fine. Hit me. Hit me.
Devil's advocate.
Play it.
Context. Say you're new.
Can I ask a super personal question on this? Do you actually have less than 250 contacts?
But or what if you hate everyone that you know in your phone?
Well,
Maybe you burn bridges or, I'm just thinking like.
I love this. No. Do you know why I love that you just did this? Because we're going to dive into that. That's what we're going to do. Did you guys just watch me pour water into an energy drink? Yeah, I'm freaking healthy. That's what I'm talking about right there. Let's dive into that, actually. I want to take that because in this class, if you're hearing something and it's triggering, Ignite is designed to not, there are 80 slides. I'm going to go through 10 of them. You're going to want this class to be about you. So if you have things that you're thinking about, and you're like, hey, bro, what did we just talk about? If that doesn't make sense to you and you want to ask, please ask. I like that. We're going to go into the technicals now. If you, no, I love the skepticism. It's what's going to make you successful. Because you're going to smell these offers that are bogus. And you'll be like, wait a minute. Something's tingling. Investigate. Follow your lead. Okay. If you don't like people that are in your phone, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to add more people. We talked about that. There you are, Corbin. You said you're going to add more contacts. I'm ready. Talk to me. Can I pick on you? Is that okay? Like full blown, it's going to be uncomfortable. Here we go. One, what is it? Are you married? Kids? Step kids. Cool. Yours, mine's aren't? No, just step kids. Good. I love this. How old are the kids? 12 and 6. Okay, I warned you that we're going to go personal here. Okay, are you in? No. I know. That's why. Yeah. For the record of everybody, Becca does not hate everybody. Corbin, we're going to do both of you then. But I want to just use Becca because any person, this is possible. It's all the same tactic. Okay. She's the first to talk. She's the first to say, I want to understand this. How often are the stepkids with you? 50-50? Or just every other weekend? Or 50-50? Okay. So half. Again, I told you, I was like, we're going to dive into this. Okay. It's all right. What do you do when you go home? Like, are you working right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still at the hospital and you finish the hospital, then what do you do? Love you, Eric. Thank you. Eric's leaving. It's just sounding loud.
Work out.
Where do you go? Run. Specifics. Yep. Oh, alone?
Yeah.
What if you get bit by an animal? I've seen the cougar video. I don't. We're not. We're not all about to ask you honestly how much you exercise. Oh, cool. Who do you go with? Sandy? What kind?
Uh,
CrossFit, yoga, Zumba?
powerlifting.
Sweet. How many attend the gym in total?
Probably like at any time, there's probably like less than 10 people there. And it's pretty small.
Okay, good. Next. Chores, we had chores. Churchgoers? No churchgoers? What do you do on the weekends then? You travel? Where do you travel?
Go anywhere. We went, this past week, we went to Houston to see family.
Good. Okay. Next. Do you have any immediate family that lives in the area?
Both are both our immediate family live in
Is your husband introvert or extrovert?
introvert.
Oh,
He fakes it well.
he
For being
fakes it.
a car
Salesman.
store sales.
Oh, we forgot that. That was a very good detail. I forgot there. And he has a car dealership. All right. Somebody else, because we learn the best when we teach. Anybody see an opportunity in here?
The hospital, yeah.
Oh. Yes. Keep going.
Family.
Yep.
Well, and I just thought too, as you wrote that out, like my stepkids, are extracurriculars, I never considered that. Maybe
So, I'm really busy. I spend a lot of time out. And this is an interesting fact about myself. It's one of your next classes is actually about your SOI, so I'm just glad that we're diving into this, but I'll give a snippet on this. I feel like what we already just did kind of opened some ideas for you. If you're feeling them on specifics, and again, it's not just about you, but at the same time, it is. If you can make your own list like this and actually just think outside the box, just write down a list of every activity that you usually do in the week, the month, and just think about the people that are around you. Now, she said a really awesome fact about her husband. She said, he fakes it well. He runs a really good dealership. I know his dealership. It's in our city. It does a really good job. And he puts it on. He knows how to deal with it. Introvert, extrovert, you got to learn how to do your own recharge, right? You have your own moments where you're going to have to dive in and say, I'm going to refill and get myself put back into place where I feel a little better. But you got to make your own list. We're all not writing, so I need you guys to write. Ready, go. I want you to write down what you guys are all doing, and while you're writing, I'm going to yak. Yeah, I can help you, Bryce, if you need it. School. Who's in your class? You said you still helping that builder in Park City?
No, I'm done.
You're done with that? You married? Okay. Family in the area?
A little bit.
You guys do a church thing at all? Okay, write that down. What about you, Corbin? What do you do for fun? Poker. Same group every time?
It's a league that's actually Salt Lake. Yeah.
I'll give you 20 bucks if one of your next hands, you say, you're going to sell your next house with me if I win this. I'm literally going to give you $20 if you say it. It'll work.
You really won't.
Last year, a few years ago, I sold my vote. We're not going into politics. Do you understand this, guys? Avoid the idea that I'm talking about politics. I had a friend that was very passionate call me and tell me that I had to vote for Joe Biden. I just said, in my head, I went, well, this little fricker, he sold his house when he got his divorce with another real estate agent. I said, if you would sign an agreement that you're going to sell your next house or buy your next house with me, I'll vote for Joe Biden. I don't care. It costs my soul is whatever I want it to be, right? We laughed. We had a good laugh. Again, it wasn't politics. It was more any opportunity that you have. And there's actually an amazing slide about this. So let me, while you guys are writing, I want more items on your thing. Oh. So grateful that this is actually up next.
Can I say something real fast?
Oh, Jenna, yes, hit it.
Awesome. So from what I understand, there are different models for lead generation. And for me, my problem is not generating leads. I have way too many leads because of my life. And so the first lady who was speaking, it sounds like she has so many opportunities to lead generate without ever getting on her phone. And that's how it is for me. I never have to get on my phone. I have tons of stuff always coming down the pipeline just because of my social life and, you know, my neighbors everywhere I go, dog park. So yeah, it doesn't have to be hard. It's just you meet someone at the grocery store or at the dog park or at your kids' gymnastics meet or, you know, different things like that. And you just ask what they do. And then they ask what you do. And then you start talking about real estate and they say, what's happening in the market? And you tell them something impressive. You know, you have some stats, you have a little story you tell, and they're like, dang, I want you to be my realtor. So it doesn't have to be that hard.
I love that. You're stealing it from me,
Sorry about that.
but I love it. No, that's not it. All right, we're going back. Okay. And what she's meaning a lot is just that. So if you have items on your list, this is going to be your first target for your first couple weeks, okay? You get to start right away. And the things that I started doing in my business is I immediately started doing dinners at my house on a consistent basis. Neighbors, people around me, everything that I touch in real estate. In fact, I'm going to use one of my dear friends, a coach, my mentor, and a person that happens to be sitting in this room, who's invisible. I met my dear coach and mentor, Brad Barton, through another friend. And as we met each other and started working on things, I went, dude, this guy is inspirational. He's a different level of speaker than I am. You should watch it. He does magic. And as we're talking, everything in my conversation, I was interested in building a relationship with him. I was interested in understanding who he is, what he does. Who are you? And in the process, Brad started to learn that there's this guy that does real estate. Now, every single person that you know knows a real estate agent. Facts. You have to eliminate all of that fear because you have to automatically assume that if you go in your life expecting that others will give you business, then you have failed completely on the idea of what a real estate agent is. A real estate agent is an expert. They are a person that is there to help you. And every real estate agent operates differently. There is unfortunately no book that tells us all. And when you grow in relationships and focus on clients as friends and people as they are, relationships blossom. And the more that you have in your phone, the more contacts you have in your phone, the more business obviously that turns into something. So if we go through our whole lives and all that Brad and I talk about is speaking, engagements, track, all these amazing things. And then randomly one day Brad calls and says, I need you to look at a property for me. Am I going to say, hey, we have a personal relationship. I don't do real estate with you. Friends, not business. No, of course I would say, oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me run everything for you and talk to you. You have a conversation and engage with you. And that is what every single relationship in my life has done. And sometimes I've even had a sister not buy with me. That one hurt. Oh, felt that one real good. That's okay. You want to be able to learn that that's all right. Because if all you do is to be able to advance your relationships, is just focus on, okay, if I'm at the gym, there's 10. All you got to do is talk to them. You just got to know those 10. And the best part is there's only 10. So it's really easy to become actual friends with them. And every person makes this simple mistake, I think, when they kind of jump into real estate. They start going around to their groups of people, and we're going to teach you how to contact them and call them and do things. For me, I've always done it a little outside of the box. Guys, I started mowing lawns. Didn't make any money, but I needed to be busy. So I just started cruising around and doing lawns. There's an amazing book out there. I can't remember. I think it's The Art of Negotiation, something to that effect. Anyways, there's an amazing study done at Harvard when it was way back when, because Coca-Cola only cost 5 cents. All right. Coca-Cola was 5 cents a bottle. What they did, they had a bunch of people come around and they would say, would you buy a ticket? It's $1 to our fundraiser. $1 was a lot more than 5 cents. Okay. And they would say, no, no, thank you. But then they would walk up to somebody and they would say, hey, here, Stacy, I got a Coca-Cola for you. It's a watered down Coca-Cola. And you'd be like, wait. And I'd be like, no, I was getting a Coca-Cola, had an extra, I thought you'd have it. Oh, hey, I'm also, since I got you, I'm selling fundraiser tickets. Would you be interested in buying one? Isn't it crazy that this study in Harvard, the smartest of the smartest, they produced this result that said, once you give something, anything to someone, they automatically feel obligated to give it back to you. And that's kind of how my life revolves. In fact, I tell a lot of my friends, when you're on my inner circle, you become one with me. Anything that you would like, anything you need, you got to call me and ask for it. And just like that, my real estate business grows. I don't expect it to grow. I'm not doing the relationships because I need them to sell a house. I just live my life like it. And it produces business, turns it over and over. So add people to your database, bam, right here. Everybody should have that list. They should be going through it and they should be talking through the different things that they grow that database with. Here we go, we've already done that. All right, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. And I kind of want to dive into, because we've talked a ton about, I actually want to get into the next section. Yeah, let's just do this one. Okay. Takeaways. I want you guys to get ready to write. Another piece of paper. We're doing right here, guys. This is called a full shift, because one of the tactics and one of the things we talked about was we were saying a lot of us, how many of us are afraid of what we don't know how to say? Yeah. So just like you made a list right there of everything that you engage with, encounter with, and do during the week, we're now going to make a list of different ways you can actually learn and understand different things about real estate. Okay. This list is going to be very similar for all of us. So I kind of just want you guys all to write this down so you don't lose it. Okay. First, it's actually Bryce's world. Builders. Next, loan officers. Third, title, we call it escrow. Fourth, your office. Fifth, classes. Anything else that comes to your mind? You had a squint. Tell me, Corbin, what were you thinking? Which one sounds crazier? Do all of these terms make sense? Do we know what each one of them are? It's okay if you don't. I'm all right with it. When I talk about builders, I used to travel around and get a lot of free lunches. That's when builders were rich. They don't do it anymore. They would have these open houses and serve Cafe Rio or something like that. And I would just start attending every builder's thing. I would go in their fridges, get free drinks. It was amazing. And all I would do is just say, hand me a pamphlet and just tell me a little bit about you guys. They don't mind it. Don't interrupt their sales. I'm new to the industry. Keywords. I am new to the industry. making builder relationships. My office told me it's one of the best things to do. Why would I bring a builder to you, a client to you? They might be a little, what? Because I'm the best? Awkward. Crazy. I always tell people to talk a lot with builders because builders teach you different things. And what are we selling, guys? Houses. You think Becca's husband knows a little something about cars? He sells cars. Loan officers, that relationship with Eric. Eric and I talk every single day. We met up this morning to get breakfast, and guess what our conversation revolved around? How are interest rates handling today and last night? How are we doing when the market opened? And believe it or not, I could go on social media right now and I could generate a chat GPT-like awesomeness that people would say you cheated, because I can educate people, ready for this big word, on mortgage-backed securities and the synergy it has between rates and how they change. I only learned that because I spend time with him and I want to understand his industry and learn it. I also went to a lot of lenders and I said, I want to talk to your underwriters. Those are the people that approve the actual loan. It's not the mortgage guy. It's he sends the file to somebody who has to say yay or nay. I said, I want to know what they want to look for. I want to understand that. I want to become a master. Your title and escrow, okay, that it's the same thing. Title, escrow. Those are your legal people. They know so much about real estate. And my favorite is when real estate agents get a hold of me by email and talk about something and they're like, there's a problem out here. And I say, well, I can just look at what we call a PR, which is a title report, preliminary report. And I can actually just go through the find links and show you everything that you're trying to find. You don't need to email me. You already have it. But I'll take some time to actually teach them, because that's the good thing about building relationships with other agents, which is our next one. Coming to an office. I'm going to talk about the importance of this. If you have time, when you have time, spend as much time as you can in this building. You will grow, you will learn, you will gather relationships, you'll swing into random classes and talk to some rando, but you'll pick up nuggets here and there. Some of them you can take, some of them you can leave, but you'll start to learn. And especially on that note, when I say classes, I'm not just meaning Ignite, because you're already here at the office, so you're going to classes. I'm talking about your title, your mortgage. They offer what they call CE, continuing education classes. You can actually earn all of your credits, so you don't have to cram like I do. Literally the week before my license lapse every 2 years, I do it the last week of the freaking month of March, and I hate it every time. And I swear I'm never going to do it again. And then there I am the next 2 years later, cramming my license down. So you can either do CE classes online, and it's really dry material about don't say offensive stuff, or you can actually go to real classes taught by people and you can learn new tactics and skills. Okay. That's how you become an expert. And even better than that was that age-old principle I just taught you guys, which is ask questions. Ask questions. You hear a term you don't know, you have to just learn how to say, I don't know that. All right. I actually want to move this out of the way here. Oh, what do I do? Oh, here you go. You're going to go right down there. There's nothing going on that way. Lead generation model. Thinking here, guys. I'm actually thinking. Hold on, I'm coming back to this. Does anybody know what prospecting is? We can talk about it for a minute. Yeah, please. Take a shot at it. Corbin, there's no wrong answer.
Like searching, digging.
Yeah. Yes. So what you're saying is the actual definition of it, which is prospecting for gold. Dig in a mountainside, take out a pan, wash it in a river, and see if there's a gold nugget in it. Prospecting is centered around door knocking, phone calling, postcards, paying for leads, seminars. It's prospecting. You're searching for it. If you're going to be cold calling people, this is the part I legally have to tell you guys. There's a nasty little term. It's called TCPA, Trade Consumer Protection Act. I think it's something like that. It's a federal law that stops you from calling someone that's what they call in the DNC, the do not call registry. If you're going to buy a list and call it, you need to double check that the phone numbers are not on what they call the DNC. Because if you get stuck and you call on those, the lawsuit is very heavy. And they love to just kind of make examples of the random that they get and grab. So don't risk it. It's not worth 40,000. Okay. Prospecting is an awesome tool. And there's a lot of different companies out there that do that. But I'm getting this thought. We're going to veto change here. Holy cow. We only have 40 minutes left. So what else do we want to dive into? Give me something else. I have these slides. I feel like we've talked a lot about actually what our course is going to be. And I have some of these drier slides, no offense to KW that made these. But what we want to talk about real is as brand new real estate agents in this room.
When you're showing a home, do you have to like be familiar with literally everything?
No.
When they ask you?
Nope.
Like, how does that go?
Well, now I've gotten lazy because my time is short. So if I was to answer this the proper way, I would say there's an MLS printout, multiple listing service is the MLS. And the printout that they give you has all the details on it. Just become familiar with learning how to look at those. Yeah, highlight the major things. Our view of the MLS and our printout is extremely different than the consumers. It actually lists out all the details in, it's got a little box even that talks about the square footage and stuff like that, okay? That's a big factor that what it does. But now, like I said, I'm lazy. And oftentimes I'll go to houses with people and I don't have time to preview them and actually read them and understand them. They've sent it to me and said, let's go look at it. I want to schedule a showing. And when we get there, I just whip out my app. They're like, well, when was the house built again? I'm like, hang on a second there. Let me just, 2007. That's pretty sweet. Not bad, huh? So no, I don't think you have to have everything memorized. And the reason I would say that is because your average client should look at quite a few homes before they buy. But here's a great tactic I taught our new agents when we were working together. Once you get your license active, you guys got it active, right? You have a little Supra programmed yet? It's happening today. Can you do it today? Supra, thank you. Yes. We taught someone something. Supra is your lockbox. So it's programmed to your phone. I think you still need to go to the division, the little UCAR office. It's one exit up the road. Oh.
Did they have it yesterday?
Yeah.
That's what
Yes. Did you do it?
I haven't.
You need to go today. And I'll tell you why you need to go today. Once you get that, the world's an oyster. And you get to jump right in there and actually go to any of these houses. You can schedule online, go in the MLS. And if you don't have access to that, just go find a real estate agent, Molly, anybody, and just say, would you mind scheduling an appointment for me on a house? And I'll just walk in and I'll request a showing. We try to find houses that are kind of vacant. You can tell by the pictures. Or you can do an asterisk search, which we could show you, that says vacant houses. And you should be touring like 3 or 4 a week. Really. Here's the other thing I love teaching you guys. The best way to grow your business in your spot is there's a little place off 3rd South in Provo. I can still tell you the exact price of almost every house in that neighborhood. And one of my first times, this lady tried to trash talk me. That happens sometimes in our industry. I hate it. She said, I don't know about that real estate agent, Carl. I don't think he's really sold very many houses. She said, fact, it's true. I went to this client and I said, I mean, they're kind of true. Like, I really don't sell a ton of homes, kind of newer. Something I can tell you though is I have sold 6 homes within this 8-block radius. So your home is known like the back of my hand. and the exact price per square foot and the exact offers that were on all other 6 homes, they all came through this mind, and I know everything about it. So you can take this agent that sells 100 houses a year. They're going to be incredible. I'm really proud of them. Or you can go with someone that will know absolutely everything about this neighborhood and home. So that was a really good thing for me to rely upon. In the start of my career, you just become an expert of your little area. And I often catch myself a lot of times, most of the time. So I like to go to church groups. I like attending church. It's a good chance to socialize. It's a lot of other things too. It's great. But before I go in any of those things, what do? Pull out my app and I click, there's a button that says nearby for sale. And then set the filter for all under contract, sold. And every week before I go into a church, I check all around it. Why? Because they're guaranteed that there's going to be somebody that comes up and says, tell me about the market. The number one question, tell me about the market. And I learned something, guys. Tangent on this. If you build into your mind to say, it's hard, tough, they immediately feel that. So how do you word that, Corbin? How do you say it's tough, but how do you not talk someone out of wanting to buy real estate? You don't know. Let's use your life, for example. I want to make a movie. Did you first write in your head, just say, I really want to talk you out of starting a movie?
I was about to say it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, but I want to make a freaking movie. You're going to get 10 grand if I make this movie. So let's talk.
First talk about budget.
Budget.
But
Yeah.
how long? What's it about?
So what's going on in the market? Tell me about the market. See?
I love this one, actually, only because I have a couple people who are interested in wanting to look right now. Yeah, they ask that question, like, what, I should just wait. Why should I buy now? What's the advantage of buying right now? One of the things I came up with is right now, yes, the home prices are slightly lower than what they were. The interest rates are higher right now.
Correct.
But the actual dollar price point is lower. And houses are sitting on the market a little bit longer than what we used to. So you can get in now, get that lower price point. And then once the rates start to adjust, when they start going lower, then the home prices are going to go up. You're already in, and then you just refinance, and it's a win-win.
That's an amazing opportunity.
And you really kind of have a little bit more of a negotiation, even though there's not as many houses on the market, you still have a little bit more of a negotiation little bit there.
Yes.
Can I add to that a little bit?
Hit it, Jenna.
Okay, so also I listened to a Brian Buffini podcast the other day that is amazing, talking about market predictions, but they talked about millennials and how the millennial generation is larger than any other generation, including the baby boomers, and they are all coming of age to be house buying age. So over the next, I think it's 7 to 9 years, we're going to see a ton of millennials buying houses. So the fact that housing prices are in, a little bit of a dip right now, we have a lot of demand in the market and inventory is low, but it's going to be lower as, interest rates should be dropping over the next year because of the election. And as inventory decreases, home prices will increase. So it's an excellent, just like the lady there, I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is, but just like she was saying that it's, you can refinance later, but get the house now when it's at a little bit lower price and then get the lower interest rate by refinancing.
Action. Good job.
Hey, Jenna, it was Stacy.
It was Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
One of the best opportunities I think you have is to be able to direct someone's attention, right? What's the market like, Corbin? What's it like making a movie? Well, I guess that entirely depends on what you're trying to do. Other tactics I love saying. I love telling people, It is a very interesting market. Really grateful that I have an opportunity to still keep crushing it and moving stuff. But man, it's out in the nation. It's a little crazy because that's what they're hearing. They want to hear that validation. But here in Utah, we've done a really good job. We're the number one in a lot of categories in economic growth, jobs, things. So it's kind of still stimulating us and keeping us strong. And then somebody says, what's going on with interest rates? Say, hey, don't talk about interest rates. Just kidding. The hardest part, I always tell people, this is it. You can take this line. I say, the most difficult thing is interest rates are directly tied to how the economy handles inflation. The federal government is trying to stop inflation. Therefore, they will continue to raise interest rates until inflation stops. Unfortunately for them, myself, millions of loan officers and millions of other real estate agents, we are spending every single part of our day trying to combat those interest rates and find new solutions as to how we can work around them. So the battle of interest rates is not going to go away in the foreseeable future of the next few months. If it's something that you're interested in, we've actually created a lot of amazing tactics and abilities to be able to combat your current interest rates, to make an opportunity for you to get a price like we've been talking about at a lower price. And in the long run, that's better. Boom. Just like that. How do you guys feel about buying right now? Actually, feel pretty good, don't you? Somewhat skeptical. I want to hear it. Tear into that. Please. Like, let's role play this. Tear into it.
Sorry.
Did you have a hesitation?
My phone is so low.
Oh, it was in another spot. Well, if that's the case, then you need to write down wherever it was.
Yeah, I'm
Because wherever it was,
sorry.
see, that's my favorite part about any of these classes.
In the moment of like 10.
She was like, huh. But let's go back, guys. Let's go back to the original part of our class. One of the most important takeaways I want you guys to learn is that honesty and openness as your new agent, as you're a seasoned agent, is the most powerful tool that you can ever have. We just had a moment there. We could have pulled something out and pretended like we were kind of like in this for this whole time. And instead you're like, I was thinking about me and things that I'm doing and I'm sorry. Oh, I'm really glad that she's actually entertained and going into a process. Most people that talk and share things, they're very interested in you trying to diagnose and break apart what it is that you don't understand, because that means you're getting the concept. Okay. What else do we want to dive into? Other objections? I really like that. Thank you. What else do we got? What do we want to learn about? What are you worried about? Shoot. I don't know if you can ask me that on a recorded Zoom. This is what I've always taught my agents. The correct answer to that is as soon as you begin engaging with the client in real estate activities. I myself am I do not usually work with people that I don't know. It's generally speaking, people that are very much aware of who I am and what I'm doing. And so those people, I tend to do that when it's necessary, when it's time. A lot of my clients, I've brought out the contract when we're writing offers. And let me help you understand something here. I have lost many clients that way. No, not signing the contract ahead of time. Say that again. I have lost many clients not having them sign the contract at the beginning. So we are taught through Keller Williams, through our associations, you are to sign that contract when you begin engaging in real estate. And I have literally lost too many. And I'm okay with every one of them. Because me personally, I don't want to change the way that I do business. And I am a non-confrontational when it comes to contracts and doing that. I don't like to sit down in a relationship and then say, sign this. So it's whatever you want. But don't get me wrong, there's been many times where I felt, yeah, skepticism, this person's gonna stab me. And I literally contract, I'm like, we're gonna sign this right here. They're gonna be like, why? Be like, because you want to look at, so if you want to, let's go over some objections as to what clients would say, and then how you can present a contract well, okay?
Let's say I'm in the gym. somebody asks about real estate.
Oh, engage in a conversation,
Maybe talking, then maybe I'm talking to them about like what they might be looking for.
right?
Like, I'm not gonna have a contract with that.
Correct, never. And most of what you could do, you can send it electronically. They're not gonna sign that. I always have them with me when it's time to actually meet. So engage at the gym, enjoy the conversation. But again, now it's shifting into a little what I talked about previously. People that engage with me in the gym, on the phone, anywhere. Anybody is free to ask me real estate advice. I'm a doggone expert. And I'm fine giving advice. If you want me to come sit down with you and actually meet with you to talk about real estate, I'm coming to your house. That's a good time. That's a great opportunity. Somebody wants to go tour a house, really good opportunity. Hey, before we go in there, I need you to sign this because hypothetically, worst case scenario, I hope you don't trip on that front doorstep and you break a leg, but we need to be liable here. So we need to make sure that you're protected. And my office carries insurance. So
That's
does our insurance cover anything that happens in the house? No. No. But words of insurance, liability immediately eliminates discussion of backlash.
Our last, earlier this week, another Ignite meeting, Shoni recommended or suggested, I kind of asked that same question too, of like, at what point? And he basically said, at that point in time when you actually sit down and have an engaging conversation. And he goes, I usually try to schedule a time when we can get together and I can go over different stats. And actually, there's a already assembled kind of slideshow, if you will. That you can enter your own information in there and you can
Genius.
present this to potential buyers. And then towards the end, have the buyer agreement and, it's like, you wanna, if you'd like to move forward with me, not discussing, but, write up any contracts or engaging in negotiations on your behalf. I'll just need you. He worded it so eloquently, of course.
I love that.
Probably slaughtering it, but.
You're not, because if we were there working together, I get it. I'd sign it. People that you,
Invested that much time and was that prepared with your.
Yeah.
drafting. In my opinion, I'm like, I'd be like, sure, I'll sign, because you've shown that you've invested time in me, so. I definitely feel like he's a good person.
we're often terrified that there's going to be something that comes up in the contract, that they're going to hit us with something. One of the best activities I ever did was when I put away my laziness. I'm literally saying that it's real, it's laziness. And I read all of the pages. There's a billion sections in there. Most of them don't pertain to what you're actually ever going to encounter or do. But if you read them all, I'm talking about all of them. Just understand it. When somebody asks, you can be able to kind of understand what they're talking about. You'll be fine. It's written in plain English, not in Spanish. Okay. When was the last time you guys set goals? A couple weeks ago? How determined are you on those? How set are you? Good. I'm gonna pick on you then while we're doing this, okay? Becca, you got your goals? Yes, yes, or no, no? Okay. Stacy? June was when you did them? Okay, have you updated them?
I actually kind of suggested.
Hmm.
So because of that, I've altered what my immediate goals are, maybe not long term.
Cool. What you, Bryce?
I haven't really set any goals yet.
We're doing this. Cameron, we talked about your 300 earlier.
What about
We have any others? Like, are you pretty fine tuned on them? Your goals?
I've been working to fine tune them more, so a lot of you probably don't know my situation, but I essentially took the last year off for family. Our most recent boy was born with half of March, so we were at primary children's. I could have cared less if somebody called me selling a house, because I was like, dude, like,
This is it.
I'm not your guy right now. You know?
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to really revamp things the last few months now that life has kind of gone a little back more like stable, back to normal, and trying to refine them. So I'm actually met with Shoni just a couple of days ago.
The legend.
Get some ideas, work on those. And so I have a goal of having 10 like purposeful, actual conversations with people every day, and really focus on strengthening existing in relationships that maybe I haven't nurtured for years, you know, and really
Yeah.
reconnect with people. And that's been my priority as far as lead generation, because from what I've seen, that's the most effective. I've tried like Facebook ads and things, and I know people have success with them. It's not my biggest strength.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still do my best with it, but I feel like putting my energy into that is just better. So I'm trying to get 10 minutes of conversation.
I like that. Sorry, that's loud.
And I've been doing a lot of different start. And I don't make it about work. I
I love that. Works.
Yeah, it's actually been fun. I've gone to lunch with like 2 people that I haven't seen in like 7 years, you know? Been cool. So, oh, and I got invited to join a book club with a bunch of like, you have like 7 different business owners that you associate with.
Dang, that sounds tight.
That'd be cool, you know?
Wow. Good for you. We're going to dive into some goals for this last section. I think it's going to be a good opportunity as we start to gauge what it is we want to do. Why? Because I don't know if that really sunk all the way. How did that why experience go when we talked about what's your why? What are you trying to accomplish? Did you guys actually write it down? No, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to get into it. And here is why we're talking about why.
I did write mine down.
Yes, Jenna. I love that. All of these quotes, goals without dreams are just dreams. Yep. A ship without a captain is lost at sea. Everything that we do in our life, if you think I'm full of crap on this, I'm telling you, this literally, this right here, this will change your life. If you can just master this. When you have specific energy in your life put towards accomplishing something, you make it happen. And again, it all tailors around a why. So if we don't have a why today, we're going to have to find one. That's going to be on you. You're going to have to sit down. You're going to have to ponder. You're going to have to really think about it. If you're spiritual, you're going to have to pray. If you're not, you can meditate. But you've got to find what is the reason you're doing this. Because again, we've talked about this. Real estate market is a great opportunity right now. I believe 100%. If you guys were to commit and actually succeed during this market, when the market rebounds and turns into a harvest field, it's life-changing. You will have an experience where you're like, wait a minute, how did I make $90,000 this month? That sounds so crazy, doesn't it? But it's legit, absolutely attainable for every person that sits in this room. You just have to decide if you want to do it. And if money's not the one that's, might be something else. So you've got to find your why and then tailor your goals towards it. So I want to break down our goals. First things first. Cameron did a fantastic job of leading us with his daily goals. He's got specifics of what he's trying to accomplish daily. 10 conversations. Love that. Weekly. That's our next line, right? Fantastic. Love those. These are things that can shift and adjust and move as we go along, right? But then we have the 30-day goal. Start to lose a little more people right here. Why? Because most people go here, here, and they skip to this. This is the biggest mistake I see in new real estate agents and even seasoned real estate agents. We say, Cameron's heard this 1,000 times, I'm going to sell 30 houses this year, right? And yet, I'm going to work on my daily stuff. I'm going to have my weekly list of contacts. I don't know how many I'm going to sell this month. I'm going to sell 30 a year. I'm putting it out there. And then when I start training agents and I start working with people, I say, okay, but if you want to sell 30 houses a year, divide that by 12. It's that simple. But then you go, wait a minute. Can I actually sell, what is that, 2.2, 2.1, 2.2 a year? 2.2 a month? You say, interesting. Because if you can't sell 2.2 every single month, some months you might have 3, some months you might have 4. But when I meet with my coach that goes over my real estate stuff, we are tracking my monthly goals, my weekly goals as I report to him. And then we're looking over our yearly goals. And every single time he's reminding me, dude, this month you actually fell behind for the year projection. You turn on the gas, dude. Devote a little more time, a little less hanging out and pretending like you might be a cop. That's ridiculous. You do that. Like a mall security guy. Get a segue. And then after you go from yearly, this is where we lose, what do we want to say, Brad? 90% of the population. 90% of the population we're going to lose on 5-year. Damn. This right here, that's a big one. And then after that, we're going to go right into, holy Toledo's decade. I'll be in my mid-40s. I might be a grandpa. Let that sink in right there. I'll have a 25-year-old. Holy crap. Guys, when you look at the way that I design my life and I set it up, everything that you learn and breathe and understand here at Keller Williams is we want you to live a life by design. We want you to understand what it is you're doing. I want to get this, that you wake up every day and you're figuring out your daily, your weekly, your month, but you're focusing also on your year, that these two are coinciding together. And then this little bugger right here is what triggers this guy. And this little bugger right here is what triggers this one. These two rotate the most. They change and they adapt. Honestly, I would love to say that I'm going to be living in Springville in 10 years. And I'm going to be doing this with my life. And I'm going to be doing that with my life. But who knows? I might live in Nebraska. Because I really like eating corn. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. When we have a life and we have projections, that's awesome. Now, let me give you one other idea on this, okay? Because I want you to write this down, and I really do want you to work on this tonight, today. I want you to take time and actually do this. Please don't just do numbers. We had a nice long conversation about this. And I promised Alyssa I wouldn't tear her apart and pick on her in this class. But when we talk a lot with college athletes and we work with people that are, I believe, honestly, now I am putting you on the spot. You can turn red, it's okay. Alyssa, guys, she ran at nationals. She is considered, she was in the top 7 of BYU's long distance team, which is undoubtedly one of the absolute best of this nation. They win national championships and place all the time. you're talking about one of the most successful runners we have. And Alyssa here is putting her head down because probably inside she's thinking, yeah, right. Yeah, right, man, somebody else. Set up your life goals and everything that you're trying to accomplish in your life so that it's moving towards things. But then believe and look back and understand who you are and what you do. There's a message I can leave with you. Is that when I started a journey, I oftentimes found myself saying, I literally don't know what I want to do when I grow up. And sometimes I even say that, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I say that because I like it. I like to leave it open-ended. But if you were to look at the different areas of my life, and just so you know, there's 7 of them. 7 areas in your life. You have your financial, like your career goals. I have wealth goals. I want to actually have money work for me. I have my soul goals, things that feed who I am as a person. My family goals, and those relationships. My fitness goals. Every single year, I'm going to stop drinking Rockstars. Literally says it every time. This year, I crossed it out. I said, forget it. I'm just going to lose 10 more pounds. Here we go. More Rockstar, less food. And I don't know if I named all 7, but as I go through my goals, I even showed Alyssa yesterday as we were talking about different goals and ways we set. She saw that even at the 6-month mark, I reset. Believe it or not, I accomplished one of my goals, which was impact. That's my other area. I accomplished one of them by month 6. I sat there and said, what am I going to do with my life today? What am I going to do for the rest of the 6 months? Am I done in that category? Nope. Got to move forward. And then it all comes down to a why. So my why has changed over the time. I had an opportunity to do great things. I feel like in a career sense, I am on a trajectory, making changes. I realize that my why is centered around changing people's lives. I want to help impact people, and I want to teach them about wealth and about real estate, but I don't want to be called a coach because dang it, I hate that. But I want to just find a way to make an impact. And I started hunting for that and searching for that. I created what we have, this little business. I created our opportunity, made it appear out of air. And I believe it's only coming down to the fact that that's what I wanted to do. I decided it. Then I had to fund it. Got to make money. So then you look at my other side and you will see, like I said, with my actual real estate coach, where I meet every single week, report to him my actual numbers of what I have done this week. And then I wake up in the morning and I will say, today is the freaking day. Sometimes I'll even text him. He's on the East Coast, and I'll say, hey, this weekend, put 2 under contract. He goes, dude, you have people out shopping? No. He stopped asking. Now he is officially understood. Carl's a mental case. He just goes, I don't know how. Good job, dude. Proud of you. And by the time we meet, he says, so how'd it go? Okay, so it didn't happen on Sunday, but by Tuesday I had 2 under contract because I said it. I lit out loud, threw it out to the universe, said it. And as I moved in all of my goals and focus on what it is I want to accomplish, I always thought at the end of my 2, 4 is who? My family. They're always there. Those key people. But I actually learned something, guys, and here's a story for you to understand. As I was moving, as I was understanding and moving towards my goals with all tenacity, with all passion, I realized I have 0 problem making number goals, daily goals, accomplishing. I have no issue serving others and making my impact, and I have absolutely no problem growing my wealth, and I have no problem making every financial dream that I've had start to become a reality. And I can make it there. And then on May 10th, everything changed. That was just 2 months ago, almost 3. On May 10th, I hadn't slept, was overworked, was on my prescription, took 5 rock stars, and everything stopped, including my heart, including my mind. And as soon as my heart got restarted, there I'm just stuck in seizures. I can't tell you guys how scary it is to be trapped in your body, hearing everything and hearing my wife's voice. Ask me, wake up. I can hear the dispatchers on the phone, and I can hear Julie's voice, the dispatcher. I know who she is. Hey, Carl, this is Ashley. I found him unconscious. I can't get him back. I hear my fighter friends come in the door. Carl, it's Gerald. Buddy, are you okay in there? I hear my police buddies. I felt them put the oxygen tank on my nutsack as they hauled me out. It was terrible because I was trapped in there and I couldn't get out. I couldn't move, couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't acknowledge that I was there. And that moment did something crazy because I actually didn't care after that. I waited to the hospital for 2 days and I had so many drugs pumped in me that everything was just kind of a blur. And I was angry, I know I was mad. And when I got out, my mom had flown in. My brother left his business negotiation in Chicago. And I was pissed. Because why would you guys be here? I am fine. It's just some seizures and a heart stop. It's not a big deal. I obviously made it. And then it was probably about a week and a half after, as everybody started doting on me, and I got so angry at the world about this. And I thought, something I should do here. I'll try to get through this part. I went back and I opened up all my Ring cameras. There I watched in raw time my 7-year-old and 6-year-old hold each other as he just says, I'm scared. I watched my 7-year-old run out and open the gate for my friends. My dad's not breathing. Get in. I watched my 15-year-old trying to figure out if I'm playing a sick prank on them because that's who I am. Or if my wife's, who in a very remarkably calm voice is actually serious, that you need to get a hold of neighbors now. And I watched them body out. And I said, oh, why am I angry at those around me for the choices that I made? Everything that you do in this life is going to simply revolve around whatever choices you decide that you're going to make and the path you're going to live. And you have 2 options. Everybody else's fault, or I take ownership and I own this. That is it. It's plain, black and white, right down the line. Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, 5 years, 10 years. There's a shift. I want to be alive. Be there for my kids. I'm also going to be rich, but I'm going to be there for them. I have specifics written down with my kids of what it is we are going to do together in those 5 years. I'm going to work on my communication with my wife, so when we fight, we can laugh. I'm going to actually devote my time to that person that comes to my house, even though I'm so busy, and just says, I'm stuck, I need help. And when I'm working and my little one, 2-year-old comes over and starts opening the freaking copy machine and throwing things in it and pushing the green button that she's learned about, I'm not going to yell. And I'm going to smile with her and trace her hand and stick it in there and push the green button with her. And we're going to have that experience together. And while we're doing that, I'm going to turn back to my computer, say, Daddy's going to keep working. And I'm going to come back and trace again. There's a balance in all things, and there's a path that you can accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. You can find this. I'm grateful you guys took time to come out today and learn about the basics of lead generation and what it is we can accomplish. If you guys ever need anything, you're welcome to reach out. I may not respond immediately, but I'll put it on the list and I won't leave I will leave the message unread until I have time to respond to you and get to you. And I'm excited for your journey. I think you're going to accomplish great things. That's it. Thank you, everybody. Ritz, I love you.
Take care, guys. Bye.